Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 392 based on novel. So let's start. Boom. Dozens of gigantic energies composed of the 8-star Doshian top powerhouses and the reincarnation powerhouses formed a green energy training with 1,000 feet, roaring away at the location of the Night King, passing by along the way. The void shatters, and the power contained in it is enough to annihilate any life under reincarnation. For a time, the entire heaven and earth where Haytown Demon Prison was located contained a touch of extremely oppressive aura, as if this place would be completely shattered and disappeared at any time due to the dazzling attack energy of the two. Humph. Upon seeing this, the Night King saw blood-colored evil clouds easily emerge under his feet, and immediately dragged his body to the sky, like a hero who looked down on the group of monsters, and immediately patted it, a thick blood on the palm of his hand. The light burst out, and after the breath, it turned into a hand, rolling violently, carrying countless auras and ancient evil lines on it, and the resentment spread, which is truly earth-shattering. Bang bang bang! The two equally 10,000 jong-sized energy pieces made contact, the harsh collision sound and the violently rolling energy ripples scattered around, easily nibbling away the void here. In an instant, the entire void was torn apart, and the wind was blowing. With a sound, dozens of strong men attacked at the next moment, and were easily torn apart by the magic hands of 10,000 feet. Obviously, the strength of the two is not on the same level. It was a combined blow from the top forces of Tianxiong Tyrant and the Whitebone Demon King, but after a few breaths, it was completely submerged in the hands of the Night King. At this moment, the breaths of dozens of people fluctuated violently. A mouthful of blood was sprayed out, and then the breath floated in the air, looking at the Night King who was stepping on the blood cloud in astonishment. At this moment, the frail figure of the Night King seems so unattainable. The evil intention of looking down on everything is undoubtedly obvious. The slender fingers, the sinister blood-colored long hair, and the maddening smile, an icy chill of death slowly radiated from the bodies of these top demon world powerhouses. They also knew that the combined attack just now was defeated, and at this moment, I am afraid it is a real dead end. The demon world doesn't have the Demon Emperor and the Reincarnation Guardians who support him. You rubbish, at best, are just a bunch of rabble. But it's just right, with the blood of all of you monsters to make up for the torture I've suffered for countless years, so that I can return to my true peak. So, let this king fall. Looking at this scene, the Night King sneered, and immediately within his body, a prismatic square-shaped black crystal slowly floated out of his blood. The blood crystal has just floated out, and it is engraved with extremely dark and complex evil lines. After it emerged, the whole world became quiet, the audience was dead silent, and a trembling horror swept the countless monsters. Mind. It seems that in a short while, they will all be turned into the nourishment of this blood crystal. And this blood crystal is obviously the essence of the Night King. Now the overall situation has been decided, and the Night King believes that no one will always disobey his power. Damn it. At this moment, the Tianxiong Tyrant turned directly into his body. His brown hair matched the body of a beast that was over 100 feet tall, trying to resist this fluctuation, but it was an extremely tyrannical force, suppressing him and letting him couldn't move at all. My lord, let's go. This guy, we will be responsible for delaying his progress. Now I'm afraid we can only hope that the strong people in the center of the demon world will come forward, otherwise our demon world will definitely be slaughtered by this madman. Both Old Monkey and Old Scorpion roared at the same time. Immediately, it turned into a huge and tyrannical monkey shadow and a scorpion shadow, and with the power of reincarnation of the two, even so, there is still a clear gap with the Night King. Death. With a soft voice, the Night King didn't give these guys any chance to escape. The blood-colored crystals wriggled, emitting an extremely greedy smell like a ghastly-faced demon, and the monstrous evil power radiated out. A hideous roar. It slowly attacked dozens of elites from the sky like an ordinary raindrop, but the fluctuations hidden in the dark were suffocating. Not good. Watching the dim void around him collapse directly, a sense of distortion swept over and imprisoned all of their bodies temporarily. Old Monkey hurriedly shouted. This is the end of disobeying this king. The King of Water and Fire looked at the pale faces of the dozens of people present, unable to resist the wave of death, and seemed to have seen them completely turned into bones in the next moment to be absorbed by the blood crystal of the Night King. Weird scene. When did the defeated generals at the time have the right to point fingers at this emperor's subordinates? Crack. Just when the blood crystal was about to devour everyone, a hearty laughter that ran through the world slowly sounded. For a time, the incomparably evil blood crystal was suspended in the air, without any fluctuations, and the evil fluctuations and evil patterns on it were quietly crawling down at this moment, as if they were afraid of something. Looking down such a strange blood crystal, a rather handsome man grabbed the blood crystal with one hand, with a domineering aura coming from the corner of his mouth. Demon Emperor? Master, Master? There were already people who were fighting for their lives. Looking at the handsome man above the sky, he became choked up for a while, and couldn't help but kneel down directly. These reincarnation powerhouses are all loyal subordinates of the Demon Emperor, and helping the two powerhouses is just a balancing act. Now that the Demon Emperor is reborn, naturally. Demon Emperor? How is that possible? In an instant, the face of the Night King, who was standing above the blood cloud, changed dramatically, his pupils shrank tightly, and he lost his voice. How strong is the Demon Emperor? The former Demon Emperor, with one person and a hegemony weapon, directly stopped hundreds of thousands of elites from their extraterritorial evil clan, including one Red King, two White Kings, and many Black King. Thank you more for that. This farce, it's time to end. In the past, I thought of your kindness in your heart, and I didn't obliterate you, but now it seems that I was wrong. The Demon Emperor Tianhen said slightly, every word and every sentence contained an arrogant domineering contempt for all living beings, sweeping the world, let countless evil forces destroy themselves without attacking. Don't be ashamed. You have just broken the seal now, and your strength is still less than 1/10. How can you obliterate me? Water and fire double evil, listen to my order and form a formation. Three kings evil night realm. A roar immediately, water and fire and the three figures of the Night King spread rapidly, directly surrounding the entire sky. Purgatory for a dark night. The night is the real domain of the Night King. It's all over. Let me remind you of your old fears. The gun is coming. With a roar, the Demon Emperor squeezed fiercely, and the blood crystals in his hand were suddenly crushed by his white palm. Countless evil forces had no room to fight back, and they were completely swallowed and purified by the Demon Emperor. With a sound, scarlet blood spurted out from the corner of the Evernight King's mouth, and he was seriously injured in an instant. In front of the Demon Emperor, the void squirmed, and a ripple of demonic energy soaring into the sky slowly condensed, and vaguely, an ancient divine weapon was about to take shape. At this moment, the Night King's face turned pale, and a wave of shock and death swept out. Boom! In the entire sky, countless gloomy blood colors swept out. It's just that this blood energy is completely different from the evil blood energy of the Night King and others, because this blood color emerged from the Demon Emperor. There is no evil power in the blood energy, but it is just like a bottomless pit. Here the spear. Zaidu snorted coldly, and immediately countless blood-colored demonic chi materialized directly in front of the Demon Emperor. A blood-colored spear appeared in the Demon Emperor's hand. Although it was just an energy state and not an entity, it was extremely excited, humming like shaking, a domineering arrogance that surpassed all things, invaded. The blood-colored spear is impressively the third of the top 10 weapons in the demon world, the sky-splitting demon spear. The sky-splitting demon spear shone with blood, highlighting the arrogance of an overlord. The whole body was more than 3 feet long. Numerous ancient and complex patterns were carved on it, forming a total of 10 different patterns of alien beast. The 10 alien beasts alone are enough to rank among the top ranks of the demon world, and the power they contain is even more evident from the world. In a flick of the wave, the world lost its voice. Condensing the phantom of the artifact with demon power? This guy's power has actually survived the 4th or even the 5th reincarnation calamity. How is that possible? At this moment, the power in the body of the Night King disappeared rapidly because of the explosion of the blood crystal, but with the shroud of the surrounding night world, he was barely able to perform some attacks, but when he saw the Demon Emperor's posture, a time froze. This tyrannical weapon disappeared as early as after the Demon Emperor was sealed. Now that the Demon Emperor has just broken the seal, it is absolutely impossible to retrieve it. Even so, the Demon Emperor actually used his own demon power to directly transform into the form of a tyrant weapon. Compared with the real bully weapon, there are many gaps, but it is enough to deal with yourself. What kind of affinity and monstrous demon power does this kind of handwriting require? It seems that not only the 3 of them have increased their strength due to the suppression of the seal, but the arc of the Demon Emperor's growth is even more staggering. King, what are we doing now? At this time, Shui Huashuang Sho suddenly felt a coldness that was infinitely close to death from the Demon Emperor's body and the demon spear in his hand, and immediately hesitated. They understood that if they didn't take some measures in time, I am afraid that they will face a collapse, because this evil formation has no threat to the Demon Emperor with the disappearance of the blood crystal of the Night King. On the other hand, The terrorist offensive that the Demon Emperor is brewing now is enough to easily kill them. Obviously, because the Night King was too arrogant, he tried to devour dozens of demon world powerhouses to supplement himself with the original blood crystal, which made a big mistake. The strongest blow. I don't believe that this guy's power has not declined in any way because of the seal. There was a resolute taste in the Dark Night King's eyes, and immediately, a red blood glow of power emerged all over his body. The red blood urn dedicated to the Red King contains the power of the Knight of the Night King. With the power of the remaining two White Kings, I am afraid it is enough to compete with the Demon Emperor. Blood sacrifice, the gift of the night. Water festival, Xiao Shurehao. Fire festival, flame burial. Three mighty voices, with three completely different evil auras, vented out from this realm of night that has been shrouded by the Night King, and the power contained in them is enough to tear the world apart and make the world feel for it sincerely. Lord. At this moment, the dozens of demon world powers below held their breaths in their hearts, staring blankly at the immortal figure of the Demon Emperor in the sky, whispering softly. Although Tianxiong Tyrant and Whitebone Demon King were very hostile in their hearts, with the appearance of the Demon Emperor, they also eliminated all other distractions in their hearts, because they followed the Demon Emperor to fight in the quartet, and they knew the Demon Emperor's tyranny. The Demon Emperor is out, and they still have the qualifications to compete for the demon world. Now that the Demon Emperor is broken, all conspiracies can only be dissipated. All this is only because of the extremely terrifying power of the Demon Emperor and the shock of his indestructible body. Countless years ago, the first battle of heaven and earth was like this. The entire demon world was beaten by the army of foreign evil tribes. It was the Demon Emperor who turned the tide. This scene is surprisingly similar. But our world is not a place where you rotten bugs can trample at will. And our demon world is definitely not a place where your extraterritorial evil clan can bully. To this emperor, fall here completely. The mighty voice tilted down like a domineering sky. Kill me. The three cold hums were intertwined, and the three evil attacks were also condensed together, forming a veil of sky, followed by a ferocious monster with a size of 10,000 feet, piercing the void with its teeth and claws, crossing the night, right the Demon Emperor in the sky blasted away, and his appearance was no less than the arrival of a real demon, coveting the fertile land of the demon world, waving and trampling, life was covered in charcoal, blood flowed into river. Splitting the sky. Seeing the curtain of the sky and the demonic shadow roaring together, the Demon Emperor smiled coldly. Immediately, the sky-splitting demon spear standing in front of him erupted with a dazzling demonic energy, which was directly squeezed by the Demon Emperor. Holding it in his hand, his posture is contemptuous, and he collapses in the air, his body's strength shrinks to the limit, and he swipes at the latter abruptly. Boom! In an instant, a blood-colored crack, with an incomparably loud and domineering demonic aura, fell off the demon's spear in a high-profile manner and blasted away at the ghost. Catcher! The two collided without any hesitation, but all the defenses of the phantom shadow were in vain, and it was suddenly pierced by the blood-colored crack. Impossible! At this moment, a sinister and malicious voice emerged from the mouth of the Night King. One blow, just one blow, the strongest blow of the three of them was cracked by the Demon Emperor. At this moment, the Night King just felt why this Demon Emperor is the most talented one since the demon world was established. I am afraid that the strength of the Demon Emperor has surpassed himself by too much now. King, let's go. Watching this scene, the water and fire were venting their auras, and they directly exploded with surging evil power, trying to stop the Demon Emperor's attack and buy time for the Night King to escape. Ended. 10 beasts split the sky. Seeing the attack of the three being broken, the breath in the body became dying, the Demon Emperor snorted coldly, and the demon spear in his hand turned into a giant shadow of 10 extremely overbearing demon beasts roared away at the three. Tear off. No matter how ferocious the water and fire Shuangsha was, he was besieged by 10 domineering monsters, the flesh and blood on his body was bitten off, and the evil power was entangled by the monster energy, unable to exert any power. At this moment, to welcome them, only destruction. After a while, the 10 beasts completely devoured the water and fire and the 2 evil spirits, and immediately their bodies swelled and went towards the chest of the Night King who was about to escape. It was pierced and swallowed by it. Obviously, the power of the 10 alien beasts condensed from the sky-splitting demon spear is comparable to the reincarnation powerhouse. In just a few minutes before and after, the 2 mighty White Kings and the evil Night King were completely destroyed by the Demon Emperor's hands. Demon Emperor Overlord, sky-splitting demon spear. A generation of demon emperors, well deserved. Humph, 3 idiots. But now that we have collected the power of 2 demon suppression prisons, It is enough for us to squander it for a while. 2 white kings and 1 red king have fallen. I am afraid that the evil tribes outside the territory will not be so willing to let it go. On the edge of the ancient battlefield, Xu Xiao said grimly, and after speaking, he disappeared into a black smoke, but he did have some kind of extremely evil treasure on his body, which took the 2 demon-suppressing prisons. Many evil creatures have been completely absorbed, but they just don't know why. The other side. In the magnificent ancient battlefield, as the 3 evil powerhouses were completely annihilated by the Demon Emperor's hands, without any trace of their origins escaping, the powerhouses behind them couldn't help but be stunned. Ever since the Demon Emperor disappeared, there have been endless legends about him. Even some of the descendants are quite fearful and respected. Now that I have seen it with my own eyes, the shock is naturally suppressing the hearts of all of them. But now, it doesn't matter anymore. With the Demon Emperor now, the collapse of the demon world will be unified. Lord. At this moment, Elder Scorpion and Elder Monkey, the reincarnations, took the lead, knelt down heavily on both knees, and respectfully said to the figure standing proudly above the void. These reincarnation powerhouses are now the strongest in the demon world, and the remaining powerhouses are either fallen or in a deep sleep, and need to be awakened by the Demon Emperor. Well, it's over. Send someone to clean up the 2 demon suppression prisons. The seals of the demon suppressing prisons are extremely strong. If there is no black box operation by people with intentions, it is absolutely impossible for them to break the seal. And the other evil forces in the 2 demon suppression prisons are extremely weak. These things seem a little strange. Check them out. After the 3 kings were completely wiped out, the Demon Emperor's face became gloomy, staring at him. Looking at the positions of the Qianxiong tyrants, he said coldly, that hegemonic spirit was displayed, making people unable to move. Master, we are guilty. At this moment, Qianxiong tyrant and the White Bone Demon King suddenly spoke out, their voices filled with a sense of convincing, and suddenly fell to their knees, looking in a trance, not daring to show any disobedience. What are you guilty of? The Demon Emperor said coldly, but the monstrous murderous intent contained in his voice was hard to contain. During the period of its seal, Heishan Longlang kept revealing the situation of the demon world to the Demon Emperor. In an instant, the reincarnation aura from the Demon Emperor's body swept out, washing away countless evil auras in the ancient battlefield. For a time, the majestic repression made everyone in front of him feel no resistance. Lord, we are guilty. Qianxiong Tyrant and White Bone Demon King said slightly, and their voices were full of apology. Humph. Since I was sealed, the demon world has become chaotic due to the division of you and others. Now the battle of the few of you has damaged our demon world's vitality. What should you blame? The Demon Emperor's cold voice had no trace of warmth. Lord, the 2 white kings and 1 red king have been obliterated now. I am afraid that they will be known by the real high-level foreigners in the near future. Once they are angry, I am afraid that it will lead to a more dangerous battle. Although your strength, Master, has entered an unmatched realm, the strength of the 2 adults also touches the reincarnation. I am afraid that it will only be a matter of time before stepping into the reincarnation. The reincarnation powerhouse is indispensable at this moment. Lord, think again. At this time, Laro Hu and Laro Xie and other reincarnation powerhouses spoke out at the same time, begging for mercy for the 2 of them. The death penalty is exempt, but the living crime cannot escape. I want you to wait for the 2 of you to follow me for a few years. Let's write down the crime this time, and wait for the crime and meritorious service in the future. Otherwise, don't blame the Emperor for being ruthless. After a deep voice, the Demon Emperor said, Thank you, Lord. The 2 Qianxiong tyrants heard the words, and immediately burst into tears and their bodies trembled. If there were no pleas from these guys, I am afraid that they would be instantly wiped out by the Demon Emperor, the demon pill would be destroyed, and their souls would fly away. Go on, you can solve the situation in the ancient battlefield today. And the demon world has been broken for tens of thousands of years, and it should be reunified now. Old Monkey, you send someone to integrate all the power of the demon world. If you encounter a disobedient, you can kill it first and then pay for it. The orderly orders were issued, and the situation in the demon world became clear again. On the other side, in the demon fate cave, the 10,000 Demon King has already gone to deal with many matters in the demon world, and only the He Sho Long Lang, the Flaming Beast and Xiao Yang are left here. Strange, what is going on here? Xiao Yang was always in a very special state when the outside world Demon Emperor wiped out the 3 kings with a supreme attitude. It seems that his soul has entered a realm of no one, which is also a place of aurora like a demon, but there are only 3 light groups of each color, and Xiao Yang's soul body. For a long time, Xiao Yang had been ignorant of these 3 light groups, and even had no way to break through them. These 3 light groups are a bit like the 3 great magic arts that seal the Demon Emperor. They are afraid of something in my body. The soul-transforming secret art of the ghost world, the devil heart-devouring divine art of the devil's world, and the Zen mind-clearing Brahma art of the Buddhist world. But why do they imprison me? Xiao Yang quietly stood in the dead aurora void space, immediately thought carefully. Hush! After an unknown amount of time, Xiao Yang's body flickered suddenly, and after a while, the stone fell one by one. Evil crystal demon block. Xiao Yang wondered. Wang buzzing. Before Xiao Yang could react, the 3 groups of light instantly turned the crystal into a cloud of dust with the power of thunder, and in the powder, some ancient words are also looming, and there is an eternal power on it, which slowly sounded. This is the cultivation root of the 3 great gods. How is that possible? In an instant, Xiao Yang watched the 3 groups of light directly attached to the powder particles of the evil crystal, and immediately an ancient ripple floated in front of her. That kind of feeling is as if these 3 divine arts were guided by the burning art in one's own body directly paving their cultivation paths on the stones. Although I don't know the specific reason, but, seeing this, Xiao Yang didn't have time to think. He closed his eyes and lost his mind. The cultivation roots of the 3 major divine arts were completely imprinted on Xiao Yang's body. As for the 3 major divine arts, originally their own powers were their masters, and they were even rebellious against each other, but when Xiao Yi remembered them in his body, there was nothing to block them. Although Xiao Yang has mastered the 3 great divine arts now, Xiao Yang will not leave the good Fenju without cultivating, so he will switch to other exercises, because Xiao Yang feels that the power of Fenju is even higher than the 7 great divine arts. At this moment, Xiao Yang has already mastered the 3rd of the 7 realms of divine art. Although he does not want to practice, but with the help of the cultivation root and direction of the 3 divine art, in the future, by chance and coincidence, he has given a lot of talents and outstanding people. The rise of the world's top forces has deeply paved the way for a solid road. For the trip to the demon world, I am afraid that the 3 major divine arts have received the best rewards now, and with these 3 divine arts, in the future, when walking in the ghost world, the devil world, and the Buddha world, the lethality of these 3 world powerhouses to Xiao Yang will also be greatly reduced. This guy, what the is going on? In the cave of Yaoyuan, the black evil dragon wolf kept guarding Xiao Yang's side. Looking at Xiao Yang who was motionless, he couldn't help muttering. Although this place is also within the demon fate cave, but the aurora area here is just the tip of the iceberg. In addition to the mystery of the cave, the black devil dragon wolf is also extremely nervous. Xiao Yang stood quietly on the land of aurora. The original power of the 3 realms' divine art had slowly dissipated, and calm was restored here, but the strange thing was that 3 groups of extremely strange sealing powers emerged around him. This power was clearly the power that sealed the Demon Emperor, but how could it now appear beside Xiao Yang? Just ask that level of power, even the Demon Emperor is moved by it, let alone a small 7-star fighting immortal powerhouse. All kinds of questions plagued the Haisha dragon wolf, making him helpless, walking back and forth on the land of Aurora for a while, obviously extremely irritable. With a sound, the beast of flames that had been quiet suddenly opened its eyes, stared at Xiao Yang, and roared, as if something had changed in Xiao Yang. At this moment, Xiao Yang's body suddenly burst into a dazzling 5-color arc of fire, which instantly absorbed the power of the 3 groups, and the place returned to calm. Senior Dragon Wolf. Xiao Yang just opened his eyes when he spoke to the latter with a smile, and his voice was filled with strange fluctuations. You kid. Are you alright? The Haisha Longlang couldn't help but stare at Xiao Yang, for fear that the hero of the demon world would suffer any loss. Ouch. For a while, the flame beast was as cheerful as a porcelain doll, and ran to Xiao Yang's side with a single stride. Relying on the fluff on his body, he vigorously hopped on Xiao Yang's arm, and his appearance was quite intimate. You bastard. Seeing this, Xiao Yang smiled slowly, and immediately stroked the fur of the flame beast with his palm. You're awake. After the breath, the void in the land of Aurora wriggled, and a figure above all things stepped out and said softly, That is the Demon Emperor. Senior Demon Emperor. Seeing this, Xiao Yang's eyes darkened and he respected him, but the Demon Emperor now seems to be completely different from when he just broke the seal. Moreover, the strength of this Demon Emperor is definitely the strongest he has ever seen in his life. Unless his master, the Golden Dragon King, returns to his peak, he will not be able to compare with him, not to mention that this guy seems to have a close relationship with their Xiao clan. Naturally very kind. The demon world has now calmed down. The demon emperor said. What a terrifying reincarnation powerhouse. Listening to the demon emperor's understatement, Xiao Yang and Haisha Longlang couldn't help but feel a terrifying wave in their hearts. I do have something left by the patriarch of the Xiao clan that needs to be handed over to you. After a deep voice, the demon emperor also said with a strange expression, it seems that there are countless dazzling divine powers in those eyes, which is on Xiao Yang's body. Circle back and forth. What is the demon emperor hesitating about? Senior, please. Seeing this, Xiao Yang didn't say much. He suddenly clasped his fists with both hands, and bowed to the demon emperor in a big salute, waiting for the demon emperor's answer. Forget it, let's just let it go in the future. Seeing Xiao Yang's appearance, the demon emperor also smiled casually. Obviously he had already made a decision. Xiao Yang, a descendant of the Xiao family, thank the predecessors. Xiao Yang hurriedly exclaimed with joy. You don't need to thank me. Then again, this time the demon world is in a disaster. If it weren't for your help, I'm afraid our demon world would be in jeopardy. In the end, I should thank you. The demon emperor's voice was quite calm, but there was an inherent domineering in it. That kind of aura was indescribable, but it was enough to make people surrender. By the way, Dragon Wolf, I smelled some familiar fluctuations in the demon suppression prison. Is that kind of power hers? After speaking to Xiao Yang, the demon emperor turned his head slowly and asked the Haisha Longwolf. Lord, this subordinate is incompetent. When escorting Lord Xiao Yang to the sealed land, he lost to a powerful enemy and had to be rescued by Mistress Liu Yun, so she was deeply attacked by the four-winged angel of the Holy Sea, and now I am afraid that her life and death are unknown. In the eyes of the black dragon wolf, there was a burst of anger, and even the body shook involuntarily. Xiao Yang clearly felt the humming of countless voids in this cave, and it seemed that the demon emperor would burst open the next moment. It's not your fault. After Shun breathed, it seemed that the demon emperor was trying his best to suppress the anger in his body, and immediately closed his eyes and muttered. Xiao Yang, I have something to ask for. The entire land of Aurora was deadly quiet, and the demon emperor spoke a few minutes later. Senior, please tell me. Xiao Yang also noticed something and said, if you can, when you return to Dodi continent, please help me covertly and secretly help her. I just want to rescue Liu Yun. In the voice of the demon emperor, there was less domineering, but more love between children. Although I don't dare to make a ticket, leave this matter to me. After Xiao Yang said in a deep voice, he nodded. I just broke the seal now, and the tyrant has disappeared. It will take a lot of time to find it. In addition to my strength, I have to adjust my strength to the peak because of the increase in the cave. And unifying the demon world, etc., I still need a lot of time. When I finish dealing with these matters, I will go to Dodi continent to start a war with the Holy See. At all costs. The soft voice echoed on the land of Aurora, but every character contained a touch of power that shook the world. But Master, one of the Holy See strongholds is on the Doyun continent, the core of the Dodi continent. The four-winged angel is likely to bind the hostess somewhere. The power of the Holy See above Doyun continent not only possesses the three major red-clothed archbishops, but even the Pope's priests, etc. Heishan Longlang was also extremely worried at this time. Don't worry, this guy is the embryo of the king of beasts in the demon world. I will let him grow up in a very short period of time, and then I will hand the entire demon world into its hands. The demon emperor said softly. Sure enough. Xiao Yang said with relief after listening to the demon emperor's plan. This flaming beast is the king of all beasts. It was only because of some chance and coincidence that he was able to evolve by luck. Now that it has returned to the demon world, it has the teachings of the demon emperor, and Xiao Yang is also relieved. Little guy, this is your home in the future, remember to cultivate and protect it. After Shurenshi, Xiao Yang touched the cheek of the flame beast with a smile, and smiled gently. Home. At this moment, the flaming beast looked at it with such a smile, but it suddenly noticed something, and tears flickered in the beast's eyes, dripping uncontrollably. That feeling, as if the thing I liked most suddenly disappeared, was extremely heart-wrenching. It's parting, it's leaving. But all separations are foreshadowing for a better reunion next time. Accompanying him for a long time, coupled with Xiao Yang's protection and giving, let this king of beasts, who is still growing, keep Xiao Yang's emaciated figure in his heart, and it will never be extinguished. Liu Yun's business is up to you. As for this little guy, let me take care of it for you. When you see you next time, its growth rate will naturally exceed your imagination. After some conversation, the demon emperor said to Xiao Yang, and the rest of the matters are also. It was arranged in a tight and orderly manner. Xiao Yang nodded solemnly. Apparently this is the only way now. By the way, Senior, this is a demon book. I think you need it more than me. Just after he finished speaking, the demon book in Xiao Yang's body overflowed directly from his body and floated towards the demon emperor. Since he had already left the demon world, take it since it doesn't have much use, it's better to give it to the demon emperor according to the previous agreement. Thank you, it can greatly shorten the time for me to find the bully weapon. The demon emperor did not hesitate and accepted it directly. Since the trip to the demon world is over, then I'll take you to where you should go. The clues left by your seniors of the Xiao family and your immortality are all there. After you get those things back, you can go back directly. Doyun continent is a very good place. I hope to hear the news that you have stepped into the reincarnation in a long time. At that time, you will be able to intervene in the affairs of the Xiao family. Let's go. The demon emperor said in a series, without giving Xiao Yang any chance to refute. Hey. Just after he said that, an extremely terrifying reincarnation demon energy was released from the demon emperor's body, protecting Xiao Yang's own body, and then he was sent directly to the deeper part of the Yaoyuan cave, which is the so-called there is something that the strong Xiao clan left behind for Xiao Yang. I don't know what treasures the patriarch of the Xiao clan kept with you, master. He Xiaolonglang looked at this scene, and immediately said curiously. I don't know, anyway, with my power, I can't spy on the slightest. But I remember he said, it seems that some kind of flame is coming. The demon emperor wondered. Is the secret of immortality and immortality? After a while, the black dragon wolf continued. Let's go, even if he has immortal fire and immortal flame, he may not be able to understand it. The demon emperor shook his head and said, obviously the mystery of immortality in his body has a great relationship with the so-called immortality and immortality. By the way, Lord, Xiao Yang has helped us so much, and the gains from this trip to the demon world seem to be very small. If it spreads out like this, it would be gossiped by guys from the other 6 realms. Xiaolonglang wondered, the meaning behind it was obvious. Although he has gained a little from this trip to the demon world, it is enough. Otherwise, I can naturally help him to be promoted to the 8-star fighting immortal, but that will help him grow, because he is the last hope among the descendants of the Xiao family. You still need to explore your own way. Let's go. Time is running out, recovery of power is imminent, and the evil race outside the territory has lost such a top power, I am afraid they will also act. After the two finished speaking, they left here with the flame beast. At this point, Xiao Yang's journey to the demon world has truly come to an end. This resolute guy. Xiao Yang didn't know where he was now. The only thing he could know was that he was going to the deeper part of the Yaoyuan cave, where there are countless mysteries, and even if there is a demon emperor with the help of strength, Xiao Yang was also heartbroken. In the dim space, the surroundings are like the land of Aurora, sparkling with sparkling waves, reflecting countless mysteries, but Xiao Yang can clearly feel the terror of the surrounding forces, and as it goes deeper, a terrifying force penetrates into the soul, is also diffused out. After about tens of minutes, Xiao Yang's pace stopped and he stood quietly in the same place, looking at the rather strange scene in front of him. It was an iceberg. The iceberg was surrounded by a formation surrounded by countless ice swords. Inside, there seemed to be strange fluctuations that were enough to attract burning dew and holy flames in his body. This is. At this moment, Xiao Yang stopped. Judging from his soul power, this place should be close to the depths of the Yaoyuan cave, and looking at the huge sword formation composed of countless ice swords not far away in front of him, a surging depression filled Xiao Yang's heart. Fire. After Shun breathed, he realized that the reincarnation demonic energy in his body was actually invaded by the power of ice emanating from the ice sword. Xiao Yang did not dare to hesitate. Armed, and immediately launched an attack directly against the ice sword formation. Hey! The ice sword formation was affected by Xiao Yang's attack. Immediately, countless ice swords smashed through the void and roared towards Xiao Yang. As for what was under the ice sword formation, it was completely covered by its white mist. I can't see clearly, but that kind of thing is extremely precious without thinking about it. The current thing is naturally to crack this strange sword formation. The power of holy flame. After a while, a majestic 5-color flame swept out of Xiao Yang's body, temporarily suppressing the pressure of the ice sword formation. Following Xiao Yang's fierce attack, in the white mist, countless icy swords broke and whistled violently, and then the sword body shook violently. Han Bing Jian Po actually calmed down slowly. They quietly began to line up, separated, and vaguely formed an extremely obscure and complicated triangular sword formation. In the center of the sword formation, a beautiful and mysterious yin and yang gossip pattern slowly stands in it, making the atmosphere here extremely mysterious. With the formation of the triangular sword formation, the yin and yang gossip in the sword formation glowed with a substantive scene, attracting Xiao Yang's attention. This is the Demon Emperor? Looking at the familiar man in the picture, Xiao Yang couldn't help exclaiming. In the picture, there is a whole green forest with a very mysterious freshwater lake in the center of the forest. At this time, the figure of the Demon Emperor slowly stands in this freshwater lake, as if thinking about something. The Demon Emperor at this time was completely different from the current Demon Emperor, but the domineering aura on his body made Xiao Yang recognize it at a glance. Today's Demon Emperor, his eyes are as quiet as water waves, staring closely at this freshwater lake. His body is full of domineering, a terrifying aura that is contemptuous of the world. Looking along the line of sight of the Demon Emperor, two mysterious fishes were swimming happily in the originally pure white and flawless freshwater lake. Those are two black and white fish. The power of black and white interacts perfectly, as mysterious as the power of yin and yang, rendering the aura of the Demon Emperor to the limit. That's Tai Immortal Judgment. After a while, the Demon Emperor summoned him, and suddenly inhaled the yin and yang fish into his body, and 5 black and white words with flying dragons and phoenixes appeared beside the Demon Emperor. Wang buzzing. At this time, the immortal fire in Xiao Yang's body and the immortal fire left his body uncontrollably, and immediately hit the picture. Bang bang bang. With a loud noise, it slowly shook, and then the picture of the frost sword formation disappeared quietly, revealing a passage above the iceberg. This passage is also emerald green, but it contains countless auras, even a terrifying aura that surpasses Xiao Yang's 5-color holy flame. That kind of breath is definitely not the top 10 supreme holy flames in the holy flame list. Even the so-called immortal and immortal fluctuations are also emitted from the emerald green channel. What a strange passage. Along with the triangular formation, yin-yang bagua exudes endless demonic energy, and in the iceberg, an emerald green passage slowly appears, which seems to be connected to a mysterious and ancient place. Xiao Yang saw this, frowned and muttered. In this emerald green passage, it seems that there is endless imprisoning power, and even Xiao Yang's power at that level can't be confronted head-on. Not to mention that the outside world can only smell an extremely fierce depression, but the fiery fluctuations of Sheng Yang and Fen Ju in Xiao Yang's body made Xiao Yang stagnate for a while. It seems that some things in this passage have something to do with Sheng Yang and Fen Ju. Judging from such hot fluctuations, this is definitely the first time Xiao Yang has encountered in his life. I don't care. With a light voice, Xiao Yang didn't hesitate immediately, his figure jumped, and he stepped directly into the emerald green channel of demonic energy. The thick demonic aura almost crushed Xiao Yang into a pile of powder. His muscles suddenly tightened to varying degrees, making it difficult to even breathe. It seems that the next moment is to be completely strangled to death by the ghost. Wang buzzing. At that time, the blood of the Xiao family, the deepest part of Xiao Yang's body, violently rolled and roared like an automatic protector, and bursts of scarlet blood force emerged, forming a scarlet streak in front of Xiao Yang's body. The color of the energy shackles protects Xiao Yang. With the energy shackles supported by the power of blood, Xiao Yang was relieved just now, otherwise, Xiao Yang would not dare to imagine the consequences of such extreme pressure. Xiao clan's bloodline? At this moment, Xiao Yang's pressure was greatly reduced, walking in the emerald green passage with great ease, hesitantly said. It seems that there is indeed a place left by our seniors of the Xiao family, and the blood in the body is drawn, and this scene has just happened. Feeling the boiling and abnormality of the blood of the Xiao family in the body, Xiao Yang smiled slightly, and he knew it for a while. The reason for that. After resting, Xiao Yang looked at this emerald green passage. The passage here is quite vast. It looks like an irregular quadrilateral all day long, and it seems to have a space area of tens of meters. On the surrounding walls, there are some green demons that reach the sky, and those demons form countless birds. The beasts are carved on it, and the lifelike handwriting seems to be real. The bodies, feathers, and even the demeanor of the birds and beasts are subtle and slightly warped. Emergence cannot help but daunting. Xiao Yang walked gently, with the help of the protection of the blood shackles on his body. His palms lightly touched the murals of these monsters on the soaring demonic energy, trying to detect some other things from them, and suddenly the two just touched. In an instant, a humming sound emerged from Xiao Yang's palm and the emerald green monster beast mural. This is. At this moment, Xiao Yang's whole body strength and perception were wrapped in this green demonic energy, and a violent demon beast swept through his body, as if trying to devour himself. The red blood shackles and the sky-high green demonic energy are intertwined, forming a magnificent scenery. This is a special method. It's a bit like using a monster's demeanor as a cover to memorize some unknown secrets. At this moment, Xiao Yang suddenly realized something. His palms suddenly retracted, and his body was 4 squares away. The mysterious frescoes on the walls are far away from some distance, and the eyes are vigilant. Boom! At that time, countless birds and beasts fell off the mural as if they had come to life. The extreme power made Xiao Yang's scalp tingle. Hundreds of monsters, and even the weakest beings, are enough to easily destroy him. At this moment, Xiao Yang's heart, body burning skills, and many other means exploded directly. "Little guy, come here." At the same time, it seemed that some ancient voice slowly sounded from the end of the emerald green passage, guiding Xiao Yang. Wang buzzing. For a moment, without waiting for Xiao Yang's reaction, the whole body flew upside down, and in a flash, it was wrapped in a golden light and headed towards the end of the emerald green passage. His eyes were filled with an ancient look of respect, and after he had rested, he was transformed into a mural and stood here quietly. They are the guardians of this ancient passage. Once strange creatures break into this place, they will be mercilessly obliterated by them, but it is unknown why Xiao Yang was summoned by the power they guard. Wang buzzing. Xiao Yang was enveloped by the power, and his voice guided him towards the end like a thunderbolt. He seemed to have penetrated some kind of extremely ancient energy barrier for a while, and the blood shackles on his body and the power of that layer of energy barrier was exactly the same. After a while, it crashed into the barrier, and the silence returned to here. It hurts. In the blink of an eye, Xiao Yang only felt that his whole body was surging, and a terrifying aura that surpassed the sky shot out, and immediately wrapped himself, as if he had left the emerald green passage and reached the end, so he did not open his eyes yet. Eyes, palms touching forehead, quite painful. What is this place? After waiting for the pain in his forehead to ease a little, a look of shock appeared on Xiao Yang's flat face. After being wrapped by that mysterious light, Xiao Yang reached the end of the emerald green passage, as if he had passed some mysterious enchantment force and entered a very strange place. Looking around at this time, this is actually the mysterious lake that I just saw from the triangle sword formation. There are not only countless lush ancient trees in the sky, but even a domineering demonic energy permeates the air, and the center of the forest is where the lake is. Come here. Just when Xiao Yang was puzzled, a soft voice slowly emerged. That voice was as light as a feather, but under the gentle tone, it contained a touch of arrogance that was irresistible to the world, and even this arrogance was still above the demon emperor, reaching a kind of domineering that Xiao Yang had never seen before. Realm. That kind of power, that kind of realm, I am afraid that the word reincarnation is not enough to compare. Hush. Xiao Yang was about to follow the voice. When he walked past these monstrous ancient trees, these ancient trees trembled under Xiao Yang's eyelids, and immediately the originally empty path was blocked by him. Seriously. What's going on? Seeing this, Xiao Yang found that the blood shackles on his body had disappeared, and now that he entered here, all the power in his body had failed. He frowned. The ruler is loose, ready for what comes next. The area of the forest here is about 1,000 meters, but the strange thing is that these ancient trees, it seems that each one contains the power and life breath that surpasses ordinary people. In addition, it is so humane that hinders his progress. Xiao Yang can't help it. He hesitated. Let's step back. Just as Xiao Yang was about to go all out, that gentle ancient voice suddenly emerged. Immediately, these strange old trees quieted down, and slowly retreated to let the path out. They were quietly creeping on the 2 sides of the path, with their crowns all facing the lake in the center of the forest. They were quite respectful. Humble and dare not have any disobedience. This video will end here.